The secret of getting ahead is getting started.
Hi, my name is Andreia on Dreamcatcher Radio for Beyond the Cover show every Monday between 12 to 1:30 p.m. I discuss all things about book, literature, and writing while sharing my passion for music and creativity. I love hearing from listeners, so please email me on andrea@dreamcatcherradio.co.uk.
George Eliot inspired us with, "It's never too late to be what you might have been."
So hi everyone and welcome back to my show Dream on Dreamcatcher Radio Beyond the Cover 32. Can you believe in this? I really can't, but here we are. And today I have a really good guest with me because he's a primary teacher and his name is Luke Herman. He's a British author as well because he have written 3 children's books and is starting an adult fantasy book. However, he hasn't published nothing yet. He is from Cornwall, and it's a city that is famous for its stunning coastal lines, beaches, and surfing, alongside with iconic foods like pasties, clotted cream, and seafood. Plus, is rich history tied to thin mining UNESCO site and King Arthur legends. One example will be Tingangel Castle. And because he has written all these 3 children's books and starting his adult fantasy book, nothing's been out yet, but he's still waiting to hear back from any literary agents. Before we start, I wanna like to ask Luke if he would like to say anything else before we start our interview.
I think you summed it up quite nicely there. Yeah, as you say, I've written a few things. Trying to, before I go down the self-publishing route, I'm trying to like get them out into the world to get some feedback, really, I guess. Um, and as I say, even before I go down the self-publishing route, if the old-fashioned way, I suppose you call it, doesn't work out, then I'm probably going to be sharing it on my TikTok account, which is where I seem to have gathered a little bit of momentum recently.
That's very interesting because I've noticed that the authors I've been interviewed and they also have the TikTok accounts, and I think this brings a lot of authors together.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
it's very important as a community of writers. So now let's start a little bit of just a bit about you as an author. So how is like your writing process?
So I guess it depends what I'm writing. So my children's books, for example, they literally happen in a moment. The 3 that I've completed have all come from, I've got 2 children, from them saying something, just like a one-liner, and it's made my imagination go boof. And then I literally will sit and write the book in the space of half an hour. It's gone.
No, so no. So you one,
Um,
you're doing so great. No, please carry on.
Yeah, so children's books, my approach is something it will inspire my imagination, and I will just sit and write. And quite often that's in bed, saying goodnight to my children, next to them on my phone, typing away, and reading them what's coming into my mind, and then they say something funnier, and I'm like, oh, brilliant! So it's really my children are writing my children's books, and I'm just kind of bringing them to life.
Oh, that's
Adult
really
fantasy
good.
books, a bit more complicated.
Yeah, those are another thing. So just because you mentioned, well, we starting to mention about children's books. Do you
Hmm.
find writing children's book easier than adults?
Yes, I think the silliness and the fact that it's to make my children laugh is how I view it when I'm writing it. And I also love the rhyming within children's books. I find that very easy to just naturally like produce. Um, Although, when I read them or when my wife reads them later on, she'll often say, "Does that rhyme quite?" But then I read it in the way I would read it out loud, and she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough." So it's kind of just my mind like unraveling, I guess.
No, that sounds interesting because you are because when your wife comes and reads them, For I might be
Yeah,
okay. There's something here that's a bit goofy, but then when you read it, oh, okay, fair enough.
yeah,
It makes
yeah,
sense. We
yeah.
have kind of that dynamic, which is very interesting that you mentioned. Now, in terms of still of your writing, what for you comes first? Do you think is the plot, the characters, anything else, and why?
Children's book or for adults books?
Could be for both, as you're
Good
writing
for
for both.
both. So for the children's books that I've come up with, they have literally, as I say, they've come from a sentence that my children have said. Um, and then that's just led my mind down a little rabbit hole. But in terms of the adult fantasy book that I've been writing for a long time, I've rewritten the beginning, I think, about 6 times. Um, and it's only recently that somebody said to me, just do a rough version of the whole thing. Stop rewriting it, stop trying to make it perfect, just go for it. So I've mapped it out now, and I'm kind of on that journey of that now, rather than rewriting it a million times because I keep having new ideas. Um, but a lot of that comes from Cornwall. Like you mentioned Tintagel Castle earlier on. I don't know if you've ever been to Tintagel Castle,
Not yet.
but so for me, it's one of the most disappointing trips in Cornwall because Tintagel Castle sounds amazing. The history behind it is amazing. And then you get there and there is no castle.
Oh no. So
So it's a beautiful place with an amazing bridge and an amazing history, and I love everything about the story behind it. But there's no castle. So one of the main things that I wanted to do in my fantasy writing was to destroy the castle, to explain why there is no castle.
oh, that
So
sounds a very interesting idea.
yeah, so I'm very much linking it to the Cornish, folklore and legends and
That sounds already
but
fascinating.
sorry.
That sounds already fascinating.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. Um, so I wanted to. So I'm kind of taking inspiration from in and around Cornwall, whilst also giving it a little bit of the spice that I'm enjoying reading.
No, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant book. Absolutely brilliant. So now, just one question as well. What do you think is the most difficult part of your writing process?
Uh, for me, it's settling on, yeah, that's cool, and keeping going because I really struggle with I will write something and then I'll lay in bed thinking, actually, wouldn't it have been cool if this happened? Or while that's going on, this could have been happening at the same time. I've got a little bit of an overcomplicated brain, and I think I do. I overthink everything. So, like for example, I think I'm on about chapter 6 that I'm happy with, and in my mind, a part that happens right at the end will not stop going on repeat. So I feel like I might need to jump ahead and write that because I can't stop thinking about it, and then I might need to go back and fill in all the in between because yeah, my brain's already ahead of where I am.
My gosh, I feel you, Luke. I feel you because it's that part of the process of the creativity that then we
Yeah,
think, okay, this part can work, but then it doesn't work because this and that. We want the story to be good. We want the story to capture our readers, and then we have that voice and tell us, oh, what about this? What about this and
yeah,
this?
yeah.
It's like
Because like
bombarding you with ideas.
I've been reading some Sarah J. Maas books recently, and they're I don't know if you've read any of those, but they're some of them, like Crescent City, for example. It's for me the first book I found quite hard going, but the last 100 pages is probably the best 100 pages I think I've read in a long time. And that I think in my mind is what's happening in my book at the moment is I've got the ending, like it's in my brain, and I need to write it because I know exactly how I want the first book to end. I say the first book, hopeful thinking. Um, but yeah, it's all the in-betweeny bits, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's trying to find the balance of this stuff for us to see, okay, this we can explore, but then if something doesn't work, we can just scrap over and move on. At least move on in a sense, because I
Yeah.
think we writers we tend to just grab everything we write and then
Mm,
laser on later, if this makes
mm,
sense.
hmm.
And also, why do you think, besides the preference, why would you write children's books, for example? What do you think it?
Um, I think that came from. So I've been a primary school teacher now for 15 years, I think. And obviously having my own children, I've read a lot of children's books, and I love the line that some of them toe between funny for adults and funny for children. And I've got a little bit of a cheeky personality, and that often comes out. And I have weird and silly ideas. And I thought I should probably write some of these down at some point. And then my child said something to me years ago, and I was thought, oh, that could be quite funny. And I wrote it down and sent it to a friend who's an artist. And he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Can I draw your character? And I was like, yes, please. So he drew that character. Um, yeah, and then from there I was like, actually, that felt really lovely to have somebody read something and go, this is great. Can I design a character for you? And then it's happened a few more times since, but it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I want it out in the world now, but trying to make that happen is interesting.
Yeah, since you have written three children's books,
Mhm.
you find yourself when you are writing them to avoid certain topics, or you explore them but just stay in the surface level. And I mean like very complex topics, like for example, illness or death, something like that, for example.
Um, no, so mine are all just silliness, I guess, at the moment. I guess I say that you could read under the surface level, and I guess you could say that there's more going on. But they're not. So they're not intentionally written in that way. But I guess if you picked them apart, you could say that there is more going on. I guess, yeah. To be fair, if you were going to do an analysis, um, without knowing that I've just said that I've wrote them just for fun, um, yeah, I guess you could read more into them, more into my subconscious. That's scary. That's a
No,
scary
no, it's
thought.
very interesting because yes, because one of my episodes, moving on, I'm going to explore and I did some research actually about the genres to writing for children. And I
Mm.
was actually quite surprised that some authors don't really shy away from certain topics. Also, I would say because it depends, for example, of the children's ages, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
But you would think because writing for children, you have to be shy of topics. But no, you can just explore them. But just depends of the age. You just found the balance.
Yeah, I think I've spoken to a couple of authors online as well, and they've for example, a lady's child I think had some kind of cancer, so she wrote a book for her child, exploring that and making it silly and so that the child then had this to read. So I guess that's another what a lovely way of approaching something like that.
And I think now, and as you give just a very, very good example of a very, very tough topics to talk with children. Let's just make a little pause and please introduce me your first song and just tell me if there is any emotional significance to you.
I didn't write down what songs I did for you guys. I
It's
sent them over.
Tom Greenman, It Hurts.
Ah, Tom Grennan, It Hurts. Yeah, so I picked Tom Grennan. Sorry, you're gonna have to do that for all the other ones as well. Um, so Tom Grennan, It Hurts. I never really listened to Tom Grennan, and then the Lovely Eden project down in Cornwall, he came to a year or two ago, and he sang it, and honestly, it ripped through my soul. It is absolutely stunning. And if you haven't heard it, you need to listen to Tom Grennan. If you can ever get the chance to see Tom Grennan live, I think he's one of the best performers live I've ever seen.
You've been talking, watch your mouth. I've been hearing rumors that you're spreading in town. You don't know me, so don't try choking me. Get yourself back in line and follow the crowd. Jealousy ain't gonna make a man out of you. Teach yourself some lessons and go back to school. You're more than a fool if you think you leave me with bruises. But the truth is, it hurts. Jealousy ain't gonna make a man out of you. Teach yourself some lessons and go back to school. You're more than a fool if you think you leave me with bruises. But the truth is, it hurts when your name is in the dark. It hurts like the pain, but now I've learned that people who try to sit on your home, throw kisses, then punches, throw flowers, then stones. It hurts when your name is in the dark. Jealousy ain't gonna make a man out of you. Teach yourself some lessons and go back to school. You're more than a fool if you think you leave me with bruises. But the truth is,
And there you have it, guys. This was Tom Green and It Hurts. I really hope the guys have enjoyed the song and really delve into its meaning. Now, because I've noticed that in your TikTok account you do
Yeah,
some book reviews. We could
I do. Yeah,
talk a bit more about reading. Now, let's start with that now, other part of our interview, because as readers, writers, we have to read a lot of books. I have to
yeah,
read at
yeah.
least part is part of our thing.
So
So
I,
I would
oh,
say, because you review books in your TikTok account, what do you like about that process of the reviewing the books?
so that's kind of an interesting one. So the TikTok started. I was doing Run with Luke, it was called, and I was just a bit backstory. And I hate running, so I was recording myself running and talking about it. And my nephew was laughing, and I had 2 followers, and that was kind of it. Me and my nephew and my brother. And it didn't really go very well. And I thought this is terrible. I'm gonna delete it. And he said, "But you read all the time. Why don't you do Read with Luke?" So I was like, "Okay, I could do." So I just picked up one of my old books and started speaking about it. Literally, no plan, just hit record, started talking about this book. And then it kind of took off instantly. So I've only been doing that since July, I think. And yeah, nearing 8,000 followers. And like one video's had over 750,000 views, which is crazy. Yeah, it's mad. So my process in this is incredibly simple in that I read a book and then I just share my thoughts. I know a few people have different approaches where they make all these jazzy, wonderful videos. I don't do that. I literally just share my thoughts, and it seems to have resonated with people. Um, so, for example, the Fourth Wing books, huge on TikTok, um, and they were brilliant. The hard thing for me as a teacher is during teaching time, I don't really get a chance to read that much. I'm reading a little bit. So in the summer holidays, when I was reading a lot more, and I read the series kind of over a week, I think, these 3 books, and they were brilliant, and they just reignited that sort of passion for needing to consume books. I've been reading for years, years and years. So I'm the classic boy who read Harry Potter and then fell in love with reading. That was me when I was 9, 10. Um, but yeah, now I'm reading all sorts, and it's really interesting because I'm coming across books that I never would have read otherwise. So like I'm a Raymond E. Feist was kind of one of my first loves. Robin Hobb, big Robin Hobb fan.
Mm.
But yeah, more recently the book talk community has kind of led me down this road of the slightly spicy romancy novels, and I genuinely really really enjoy them, which is nice. There was a little bit of a thing a while ago of people saying that boys are reading them and to connect with people on
Yeah,
there, but I genuinely really enjoy them, and I think that comes across, which is why I have quite a lot of conversations on there about these sorts of things. But yeah, it's really good, really love it, absolutely love it.
amazing, amazing. So, uh, do you think you have a book that ever changed your life?
um Harry Potter changed my life in terms of I never really read a book, and people would give me books and say read this, and I hated it. The Chip and Biff childhood books and all that sort of thing never really sat with me. But then as soon as I read something with magic involved, and dragons, it just captured me instantly. So Harry Potter, in terms of that, in terms of a series, the more so I would say than books, individual books, not really, but a series, the Robin Hobbs series. Um, it's on my shelf over there. Um, it's yeah, absolutely took over my life for years. Like I don't know how many books she's done, 20, 30 odd, I don't know. But yeah, that series absolutely consumes me. And the I think the third book that she read, and I was crying my eyes out with a book. Somebody who never really cried before. I was like, oh my God, like this is absolutely beautiful writing. And it blew my mind. And from there, my world kind of opened. And I guess then I was kind of in and out of reading with careers and children and things for a few years. But yeah, recently it's just kind of massively reignited. Um, and yet loving it again. Absolutely love it.
Yes, I think books have that beauty about them that they can, let's just say, affect you in a more emotional way.
Yeah,
That you have to, when you are writing, your mind is already projecting some kind of an image,
yeah,
and I think that's the magic of the books.
yeah, absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm very much one of these people that when I read it, I'm kind of watching the film happen in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why I find it really hard then when a film comes out.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, yes. Many people don't pre. Usually, what I tend to at least to notice is that people usually don't like sometimes the adaptations because the
yeah,
book, a lot of information that was missed in
yeah.
the films or series, can be series
See
as well.
that doesn't bother me. It's just sometimes I think you lose the heart of a book. On times, like for example, The Sword of Truth. I don't know if you've ever read any of the Sword of Truth books by
Mm,
Terry Goodkind. Absolutely incredible writing. There's a little bit of controversy in some of them because there are some of them are a bit dark in places.
mm,
But that was turned into a TV series before Game of Thrones like took over. If Sword of Truth became a TV series now, it would be incredible. But it happened in a time when it was still a little bit like watching a cheesy TV. It was awful, absolutely
yeah,
awful. Like it didn't have any of the grit or like of The Witcher and that kind of thing, which is superb. But yeah, if it was made now, I think it would be great. But at the time, it was awful. But like for me, like the original Dumbledore in the first Harry Potter film, when he stepped onto the screen, I was like, oh my God, it's exactly how I pictured him. Like so good, so good. And now I love it.
and then people get happy when they see the character exactly as they
Yeah, yeah,
imagine.
when that happens, it's brilliant. Yeah.
So, you talked about, you mentioned a little bit of the book that, well, inspired you and touched you. Is there any books that are popular but you don't really like?
Um, I'm looking at my bookcase.
Bless you. Bless you.
Um, I've just read a book that I'm not that keen on, but I don't think it's that popular. Um, it's not a very popular one. I think so. Sarah J. Maas has kind of taken over TikTok at the moment. I spoke about her a minute ago. So I read her Akatar series,
Mhm.
the first Akatar book. So I bought the box set because everybody was talking about it. Um, and I read the first book and I thought, this is absolutely terrible. It was like a really bad Beauty and the Beast, but awful. And I didn't like it at all. And I thought, oh, I've bought the box set. I might as well keep going. And it turned into an absolutely brilliant series. Loved it. So it's really interesting that the first book I picked up, I was like, this is terrible, but I'll keep going because I've bought the books now. I might as well. And it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. That's the guilt that we feel. We brought this book, but we have to keep reading because we have already read
yeah,
it all.
yeah. A lot of people say to me, have I got any books I haven't finished? No, I haven't. I always read the whole book. And another example of that I said earlier is the first Crescent City book, where I was like, this isn't really going anywhere. Like, what's happening? It's people say they're world building, and I was a bit like, it's just a bit boring. But the last 100, 200 pages was outstanding. So, like, incredible. Again, I was like crying, my heart was going, my throat was like, yeah, incredible. So, yeah, no, I haven't really like this book I've said I've just Feathers So Vicious it's called. Um it didn't really feel like it went anywhere. But there's another book out. So now I'm like, I need to read the next book to see if it does go somewhere. So yeah, I don't really have anything where I'm like, I just don't like it because I always feel like, where's it going?
Exactly. It's just a curiosity to see how the series goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand. Yeah.
And if there's a bit
So,
of magic in it, I'm kind of sold anyway.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So now, I would just have to ask, um, because of course you listen to people's opinions and then stuff. So,
Yeah.
is there any books that are considered terrible but are your guilty pleasure?
So a very popular one at the moment is a book called Brimstone, which is the second Callie Hart book for Quicksilver was her first book. And that's not getting a lot of love online at the moment. I've still got the last chapters to go, so I'm not sure. But so that's a really interesting one for me because I've been so busy with work. I've been sometimes reading, but sometimes also listening to the audiobook. And I don't know if that's made any difference to me, but it's been so good. And a lot of people saying they didn't like it, and there was a lot of publishing errors or something. I think people were saying, but obviously I've skipped a lot of that if I've been listening to it because I'm not experiencing that with my eyes. But yeah, I think that's been brilliant. But it's getting quite a lot of hate. But not hate. It's not getting hate. There's a lot of people having a few issues with the book. I think they think it was pushed out too quick to like build on the success of the first book. But I really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. And also, that's an interesting one because the author Callie Hart, even though she's becoming quite a big author, and I think they've got Netflix deals and all sorts, she will comment on videos online,
Oh, interesting.
which is really lovely. So she's commented on a few things that I've done, which is quite fun.
Oh, cool.
As I don't think I've never had another big author do that. So yeah, that adds excitement, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
Which is really nice. Yeah. No, it's good.
So also, do usually you judge by the book's cover or not really?
Yeah, if I'm in a bookshop, massively. If
Oh,
it's
wow.
yeah, I'm very much especially now. Now I'm becoming, a seasoned book talker. The sprayed edge really does it for me.
Oh.
I'm a big if it's and again, I used to always get paperbacks, but I'm now switching towards hardbacks just
Mhm.
because I think they look stunning. For example, I was luckily very kindly gifted Alchemized the other day from a parent at school, which was lovely. And the front cover for that is absolutely stunning, like an old haunted house and it's got a little bit of Red Riding Hood vibes going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a front cover is massive. I never, ever, ever, ever read the blurb of a book.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I might read like like a little tagline that they
Mhm.
have at the top. But if it's in the fantasy section, I'd
Mhm.
rather just find out.
Yeah.
And again, if somebody on TikTok says, "Oh, you've liked that, you'd enjoy this," I'll just go for it. I'm not a fan of knowing what's coming. Same with movie trailers. I don't really want to know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, I think we could make a really quick pause and please, Luke, introduce your second song.
Are we going for Alex Warren and Eternity next?
It can be, yes. It can be
Yeah.
next, yes.
Yep. So Alex Warren and Eternity. Again, an absolutely stunning song, which I was listening to while I was reading my kind of Fourth Wing books, and it just seems to absolutely connect with the books. So yeah, this is Alex Warren and Eternity.
So please enjoy it.
Hear the clock ticking on the wall, losing sleep, losing track of the tears I cry. Every drop is a waterfall, every breath is a break in the real tide. Oh, how long has it been? I don't know, but it feels like an eternity since I had you here with me, since I had to learn to be someone you don't know, to be with you in paradise. What I wouldn't sacrifice, what you have to chase the light, somewhere I can't go, as I walk this world alone, as I walk this world alone. Another glimpse of what could have been, another dream of the way that it never was. Falling back in the wilderness, waking up, rubbing salt in the cut. Oh, how long has it been? I don't know, but it feels like an eternity since I had you here with me, since I feels like an eternity since I had you here with me, since I had to learn to be someone you don't know. To be with you in paradise, what I wouldn't sacrifice. Why'd you have to chase the light somewhere I can't go? As I walk this world alone, as I walk this world alone.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Dreamcatcher Radio is about capturing and creating dreams through music, chat, and debate. Empowering expression, enriching society. A go-to place for unsigned musical talent. A radio station which listens to its audience. Free speech, vibrant, engaging. Stream worldwide 24/7. Events, competitions, promotions. Always keen to have a listening ear. Contact us. hello@dreamcatcherradio.com.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
And guys, it was Alex Warren, Eternity. I hope you guys have enjoyed the song and the artist as well. Well done, well done. So now, just keeping our conversation on reading, so I would like to ask as well, could you explain the importance for a writer to read books?
Yeah, so I've never had a conversation with a writer who doesn't read, and it would be really interesting if you could ever find a writer that doesn't read. I feel like if you want to be a good writer, and literally when I'm teaching primary school children, I'm saying this, if you want to be a good writer, you have to read because it teaches you how to craft, how to build a story, how to develop characters, background settings, even like the basic thing of when you're walking down a corridor and a floorboard squeaks. The things that you take for granted, if you wanted to write without reading, you wouldn't have a clue where to start. Yeah, it's essential, isn't it, really?
No, yes, absolutely. And also, we are aware of other authors that are also writing their stuff, and a lot of stories are out, and we also know what they are doing, and we can
Yeah.
connect with that and give inspiration as well.
Yeah, and especially like as the minute romancy is huge at the moment. And if you're trying to, if you're trying to get into something as a writer and you're thinking, I want to try something new, it's a great way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, also the cozy mystery as well is very popular as well. I think one started
Yeah.
with bombastic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So now, because we often this is more a question, probably personal opinion. Well, this all interview is about you, regardless. But so we often, as writers, we listen a lot. You must read good books. You have to listen good books. Ta, 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 ta. So, what is your opinion about rereading bad books? Do you think we should read them as writers?
So what about knowing that a book is bad and then going to read it just because you know it's bad? Or do you mean reading a book and thinking it's bad so you read it again?
Up to you. I'll be up to you. You could,
Okay, so
it could be both situations.
I think I don't really know because I've yet to read a book where I just think this is a bad book. Like for example, the one I've just finished, which I think isn't a great book. I don't hate it. There are parts of it I really like, and there are parts of it that I think are amazing, and I would steal little parts and put into my own little world. But I think in every book you can find good and bad. In terms of listening back to them or reading back to them again, so I've only very recently discovered audiobooks that I enjoy. I tried listening to audiobooks a while ago and hated it. I hated because in my mind, I think when I'm reading, I'm doing voices in my head and I'm seeing the characters in my head. And when So I think it was the Stephen Fry doing Harry Potter, and I hated it because it was just Stephen Fry's voice on repeat, and kind of got a bit bored. But then I discovered after I read and loved the Fourth Wing books, I discovered graphic audio or dramatized audio, where they've got a full cast, and that has absolutely blown my mind. Listening to a story with a full cast and sound effects is amazing. It's literally like putting the movie into your head without any pictures. And that's completely changed my views of graphic audiobooks.
No, yeah.
Uh,
I know an example. I don't remember now the name of the author, but he made a podcast about the Game of Thrones for the last episode, and
yeah,
he wrote the entire episode, and he made the cast to read the dialogue. It was
yeah,
absolutely amazing. It was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I know they've just done it with Harry Potter. I think I haven't listened to it, but I think they've just fully cast the Harry Potter audiobooks. And for example, the Brimstone that I've been reading and listening to, depending on whether I'm driving or at home, that hasn't got a full cast, but they've got a male and a female character who do like different voices. And it just adds something extra to it. Like when it's just a man or a lady reading all the characters' voices, I think you lose some of the essence that your mind can bring to a book. But when you've got a few more people playing a few more parts and doing a few more voices, I think it's amazing. Like I love them now. Absolutely love them.
No, because I imagine that the work you have to do to cast the people for the voice actors and then put some effects and just
Yeah.
sounds it just brings a thing. I think it's
Yeah,
in
and again, there's that issue of, oh, that doesn't sound like the character I think they would have been, which is interesting. But then in Fourth Wing, the guy that plays Zayden, the main male character, everybody online is obsessed with the way he is voiced. Like he's quite a husky voice. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it's he's doing well. He's doing very well for himself.
yeah. So, what are the books you're reading at the moment?
So I say I just finished Feathers So Vicious by Liv Zander, literally this morning. Um, and that was the one that was, a bit strange, a bit odd. But I've been listening to and reading Brimstone, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. They're both kind of on the romancy vibes. Feather So Vicious is more darker. Some of the scenes in it, might upset people. So only go into that if you're, very, very openness and dark romantasy. Brimstone is again fun, but very raunchy as well. Very
Mm.
raunchy book. How many have I got on my bookshelf? I've got a pile waiting to be read on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
But Heavenly Bodies is one that I'm really looking forward to reading next. It was gifted to me on TikTok. The wonderful wish list that you have on TikTok. Yeah, Heavenly Bodies has guessed. I don't know if you've read it.
No.
It's had a lot of 5 or 6 stars. I don't know if you can do a 6-star review, but a 5-star reviews. People absolutely loving it and saying it's like completely opened their mind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Heavenly Bodies. I think so. Recently, I finished Throne of Glass, and that for me, people talk about reading slumps, and I've never really experienced it before. Genuinely, I started reading other books after that and really struggled because the Throne of Glass series builds to such an incredible ending, which is kind of on the same level as um, like the Avengers Endgame kind of
Yeah.
level. It was just the last book was absolutely amazing. Kingdom of Ash, incredible story. Yeah, and since then I haven't really. I don't know if it's a reading slump, but since then I haven't found a book that I've loved. But I'm really enjoying Brimstone.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So, do you check any websites for example, for see the 5 stars, or you not really bothered with that?
No, so in on my TikTok, I've got a fair amount of people that I follow as well, and that's kind of where I'm getting my recommendations from. Is that they're reading what I'm reading and suggesting, and they're doing, and vice versa. So it's BookTok is a really wonderful community that I never even realized was a thing until like June, July. But apparently it's been going on for years. So I'm kind of upset that I was missing out for so long. But it's kind of like I feel like I found my little home with people that I can talk to about books. Like none of my family really read or have interest in reading
Mm.
about magic and dragons. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of they do. All of my recommendations really now come from there. But in the past, I would go into a bookshop and go, "Oh, that looks like a fun front cover."
Oh,
So yeah, my recommendations now more so than picking front covers.
that was a very interesting conversation so far about reading and how it impacts us as well as writers. And because we are pushing for the final, but not yet the final of the show, Could you just please introduce your third song?
Yeah, for the third song, we're going to go with You by Dean Lewis. Dean Lewis is another singer who I think can, all three of these singers so far that I've introduced can literally tear your heart apart.
Yes.
So I apologize for how slightly depressing they probably are, but they're beautiful. So here's Dean Lewis with You.
Talk me down, tell me everything's alright. Call me back, say that it's all in my mind. 'Cause I'm running round in circles, trying so hard to convince myself that you're asleep alone in your bed. So save me from my misery, I'll drown in this uncertainty. Just tell me that it's all in my head. I was ready to fall in love with somebody in love, somebody like you. I was holding on for far too long, 'cause nothing's all that I ever knew. I'm still in love with you, without you. Take it back, all the words you said, laying in my arms. If you didn't mean them, 'cause my heart don't work like that. 'Cause I'm running out of reasons, trying so hard to believe in all the promises you made in the dark. 'Cause when you had me in your orbit, you said only I could solve it. Then you left as soon as I fell apart. I was ready to fall in love with somebody in love, somebody like you. I was holding on for far too long, 'cause nothing's all that I ever knew. I'm still in love with you, without you. And you told me to be patient, and I was patient for you, patient for you. And you told me to keep waiting, and I waited for you, only for you. I was ready to fall in love with somebody in love, somebody like you. I was holding on for far too long, 'cause nothing's all that I ever knew. I was ready to fall in love with somebody in love, somebody like you. I was holding on for far too long, 'cause nothing's all that I ever knew. I'm still in love with you, without you. I'm still in love with you, without you.
And guys, it was Dean Lewis with You. I hope you guys enjoyed the melancholy and the lyrics and made you
Beautiful song. Beautiful
feel
song.
it. There it is. So now we're approaching to the final of my show, and let's discuss a little bit how do you feel about someone that they've written their books but are waiting for response of some literary agent. How do you feel about that?
Somebody in the same position as I am. It's a really hard thing. So I sent my book off to some publishers a while ago, and I think six publishers. I only heard back from one, and the message said we don't have time to read your book. Um, and I was like, ouch. So then I looked into the self-publishing, and I thought, no, let's try literary agents. So I sent it off to literary agents, and there's a 12-week wait, which is hard. So I've got another 4 weeks, I think, to wait to hear back from them. But I think the main thing that comes from a lot of people is the fear of putting out into the world. So, for example, I haven't really released the names of my books yet or what they're about. And I don't know if that's because I want an agent to take me and then I can release it to the world, or if it's the fear of people not liking it. I don't know. But at some point, you just have to do it, I think. And I don't know, maybe in the new year, I'm just going to tell everyone or even read it online. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a slightly, I don't know, it's come from you, isn't it? And you can be a bit nervous about putting it out sometimes. I think
Yeah,
even more so with the adult fantasy books, because you're putting more of yourself out there with unless a silly children's book.
it's so true. Yes. And I think you have to have a little bit of as well that outgoing personality as well, in the
Yeah,
confidence mostly.
yeah,
Because
yeah, completely.
you're literally exposing yourself to the world.
Yeah,
Literally. There's no middle ground here.
yeah. I think not so much with my children's books because they're just a bit more silly, but the adult books definitely more so.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna ask, what will be your plans in the future for your books or as a career as a writer, do you think?
So my future plans for my books are that I'm gonna hold on for another 4 weeks and see what happens with these literary agents. And if nothing comes of that, I'm probably, I will go down the self-publishing route, but also use TikTok as a way to kind of get a little bit of exposure around them. Um, I've mentioned it before that I've written some children's books, and without even reading them, people have been like, "Oh, I'll buy it." Which is great because they don't even know what it is. So yeah, and also I guess I have massive faith in them. I think they're really funny. I read them to some of the children at school. They think they're funny, and I guess I've got that platform of being a teacher as well, where I can visit schools and things. But yeah, I think I'm just going to have to take the plunge and push them out myself if nothing comes from literary agencies. Yeah,
Yeah, there's the road to go. We have no other options. It's just you go or stay or give up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So now it's coming to an end, and I just want to say thank you so much, Luke, for taking your time and to have an interview. It's been an
Thank you
absolute
for having me.
pleasure. Yeah. So would you like just to tell for the listeners where they can follow you on the TikTok or other social media, please?
So yeah, thank you very much for having me. I am Luke. If anybody wants to drop me a follow, that would be amazing. On TikTok, you can find me Read with Luke. Just read_with_Luke, or just Read with Luke. Hopefully see you guys on there. Have a happy Christmas. I'm going to finish with a local Cornish boy called Josh Kerno with the song "I Feel Alive" because it is just an amazing way to start your day. Cheers. Bye bye.
I know you're having a tough time, girl, I'm having a rough time too. I know I'm the reason that you're hurting, but I did what I had to do. I packed up my things, I said goodbye and handed back my key. And I'm hitting the road with only my guitar as company. Yeah, yeah. It's about time I got my head straight. Oh, yeah. I better hit the road before it's too late. 'Cause I feel alive with the open road and the starlight sky. And I feel alive, so I'm gonna leave this town tonight.
you for listening to our guest stories this week.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
And this was interview with Luke. If you guys have paid any attention, he is a school teacher. I just want to say that what he does to the entire country is absolutely a fantastic job, because nowadays being a teacher is really, really, really hard. Imagine yourself in a room full of students where you have no idea where they came from, if they can learn or if can speak the language, or even if, I mean, the behavior mostly as well, and the education that can they bring from home. Because what Luke has to do as as a teacher, and has to teach an entire classroom full of kids. And I mean, I imagine it is something that I myself could not never be able to do it, because all the noise, the distraction, kids maybe want to do something, and we know kids are very energetic, and also because he has to have let's say a certain posture of someone that can say and set our boundaries to the kids. Because imagine yourself in a position when, yes, you like kids, yes, you like to work with them, but if all of a sudden a kid does something that is out, it's breaks your boundaries, you have to say no. And then if you say no, at times you can be the one who, at the first place, said the kids, no, I'm not going to do that, or please, that's inappropriate, or something like that, whatever the case it is, situation is. You can be the one that the mom and daddy is going to point the finger, so to speak. So just keep in mind, guys, this was an interview with a primary school teacher, which, on the first of all, he has written child's books, which for me, again, is something that I personally cannot do, but I have a huge, huge respect for those who do. Because the language has to be simple. And if you guys have opportunity to listen very closely this interview, which will by the way very amazing, and I really really enjoy interviewed a primary school teacher in which he also writes books in his free time, and he has a father, he has a family. It's a lot of things, guys. Just please imagine, this is a lot of things combined, and we just have to thank the teachers for the job they do. And it's a job that, if you really think about it, it's not well paid enough. And I think they should be paid enough. As my mom really have said me when I was very, very little, the teachers are our second parents. And that's true. Because if you think about it, yes, your primary education comes from home, from where you come from, but then the teachers are going to teach you something which your parents can't. And that's the truth. So remind us, guys, your teachers nowadays are your second parents. Yes, some teachers cannot be considered teachers. That's true. Some people don't have the capacity, the skills, but that's a different story for another time. Not in my show, by the way, but I think I would like to actually in Dreamcatch Radio, if we could talk about teachers and other professions as well. I think it would be very interesting to listen. It is basically it from this interview with Luke. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was a really, really fun guy to be with and to talk about as well. And I hope from this interview just inspires you to just, if you have a job right now, just have the time to write something, to be creative, to push yourself, to tell the story you want to tell. He has written 3 children's books, and he's on his way to write an adult fantasy book. Think about this. There is always time for you to do your stuff. Always. You just need to know yourself, what works for you, And if you have a family, you can always, talk about with your wife or husband, depends, or even your wife if you are in a LGBTQ plus, a community as well. Just talk with them, have a conversation. Say, look, right now I need my time to be creative. I need my time, and I need to be isolated for a moment because I need my time to do stuff that my soul seeks to do. Because this creative stuff doesn't come out of the blue, it always comes inside, or a message that you want to tell to the world. And we could talk about, because I watched days ago a very interesting video by my former musician talking about how society likes art, but they don't like artists. But this is a different topic for another time. But because for now is the teachers, ever thought about this? Look at your teacher. If you are a student right now listening to me, or even if you used to let's say to listen to your teacher, think back in time. Yes, some teachers may not be great, and it's going to happen. But for those who are great, have you ever thought to say a simple thing, thank you, or to give them a present as a kind gesture of, you are doing something that my parents cannot do, and I'm really very appreciative of that. Ever thought about? Because most of the time, teachers, I imagine, they are doing something that somebody on the higher ups don't want to do, have no capacity or skills to do it. Then they are properly paid, and then they have to be in a claustrophobic room, or not, but this depends on their perspective, where they have to deal with kids, and I imagine a lot of hours. And then that's so exhausting as well. At the end of the day, I imagine Luke says, okay, I've done my part, I just want to go home and I want to rest. I may be wrong. It's, I'm not in this place, but I imagine a long period of time with kids. Imagine noise, screams, shouting, I want this, I want that, oh, look at this and that, oh, this and that. I imagine for me, it will be a nightmare. I don't know about Luke, but even if he likes, that's what it is. So with this, guys, I hope you enjoyed the interview. I thank you, Luke, so much for your time. It was an amazing, fantastic, and my goodness. So if there is anyone who will be interviewed and is an author or someone who's waiting for a publisher, reach me out, Andreia at dreamcatcher.co.uk.